Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. I'm Luke Gregory and here's what's coming up today. It's transfer deadline day, so we'll be keeping you up to date with everything that's happening at the moment, although with about an hour and 10 minutes left of the window. We might be cut short, but we'll keep you updated with what's happening in and around Kenilworth Road. And also there was a game at the weekend, Luton 0, Blackburn 0. I thought it was a pretty entertaining 0-0 draw, so today we'll discuss that game in more detail. And we've already said goodbye to two players tonight. Glenn Rea on loan to Wigan, Simon Sluga has gone to Ludogorets. So we'll be having a look back at Simon Sluga and his time at Luton. He's been with us since we got promoted to the Championship, so we'll have a little look back at his time at the club. And it's great that we're all back together today. Bataro and Dave in front of me. Last week, someone in the YouTube comments said, was this filmed on a potato? Yeah, I thought we made it very clear that I had COVID and that we couldn't be in the same room. But I am now COVID-free, finally.
Hooray. Yeah, finally.
Which is great. But it still meant I didn't get to go to the football on Saturday. Luton 0, Blackburn 0. We said last week we'd get 4 points from the next two home games. We'd be happy.
Like I say, it weren't the greatest games, but obviously you were quite entertained by it because you were really bored, clearly. But yeah, so
I thought we played some good stuff. To be honest.
I think first half it did, yeah, especially. But yeah, it was all right. It weren't the greatest game. There's nothing to dig faults at, but it was all right. That was all.
I think you'd have taken a point before it, given where they were in the league. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Had a good time.
Let's get into some 3-word reviews of Luton 0, Blackburn 0. By the way, if anything does happen on the podcast
we'll get
in the next 40 minutes,
potato.
I've got Pete O'Rourke's notifications on, so hopefully any incomings potentially. We've already figured out Elliot Anderson's not happening, but more on that in a bit. 3-word reviews of Luton 0, Blackburn 0. Nick says that will do. JMO, another point added. Dave says another clean sheet. Dan, consistent at last. Richard, lack of magic. Stephen, really good battle. Charlie says Adebayo wins that. And it was that game, really. When you look at it, the starting 11, Adebayo was the notable one missing from the squad. And you do kind of think, with a game of that few chances, he could have been the difference and the magic we needed at the weekend to win. Yeah,
well, 100% I can agree with that. But like I said before, we have to sort of go our own way without Adebayo sometimes because, he's not be there forever, as we know. But we need to find a winning way without him as well.
To be honest, we said this the other day. He's knackered. He needed a break. He needs to recover. Yeah.
Well, he's clearly got a knock as well at the moment, hasn't he?
Yeah, I agree with Charlie though. I think if Adebayo was on the pitch, then we've got a very good chance of winning that. Very good chance.
You agree with that, Bataro?
Yeah, of course. I can't disagree because obviously he brings us something different. But look,
the other important thing on those 3-word reviews. Another clean sheet, Our defence was pretty good. Our defence is pretty good at the moment. It's been great.
On the running order today, producer Jake is clearly either drunk or...
He says we won 2-0.
He's put here with Luton 2, Blackburn 0. If only, mate, if only. So there was 4 changes from the Bristol City win, which wasn't our best performance of the season, clearly, and we managed to grind out a win, which was quite important. Mm-hmm. Onyedinma started, Campbell and Lansbury and Jerome for Ray, Muskie, Adebayo and Berry. I thought Onyedinma coming in and playing that forward role, I thought he did really well, actually. And he offered us something a little bit different to what Muskie offered us on Tuesday night against Bristol City.
Especially in the first half as well. He did very, very, very well. And I think his movement, his power. I mean, we've seen it before, obviously out wide on the left-hand side, but going through the centre, it was kind of unpredictable a little bit. But, I mean, all right, second half, it weren't quite the same story, but, I think he hasn't really played a lot either. That's the thing. We'll look at it that way as well.
Yeah.
He hasn't really played a lot recently. So, but, if he get up to scratch and we're playing for the middle, I'm sure he will adapt. And we've got many players that obviously adapt to positions and whatever else. So, and Cornick coming back, obviously, as well.
I was going to say, it's a big boost seeing Harry Cornick in the squad again. Maybe maybe still not 100%, but
nowhere near.
It's good, Dave, seeing Cornick back in.
Yep, well, he's an exciting player for us, isn't he? And when he's on form, he creates a lot. He's quick. I like it. Yeah, so hopefully he's back to full fitness as soon as we can. I quite enjoyed seeing Campbell starting at the weekend too. Yeah, you know,
he's an important player. And
I think
he's very important.
I think we said this before. Previously, when he first come here, I didn't think he was all that at the time because I'd read all that social media comments. But actually now,
told you.
Yeah, I know you tell us, Pataro, but actually now I sit there and think, why isn't he starting? And that's a good sign for us because if we got that sort of class player that's on the bench, and you can bring him on, then the future's bright, isn't it? As they say.
I always think when Campbell's on the ball, I feel very, like in my head, I feel very just calm that he's not going to give it away, or he's going to do something, a really nice little pass, or just something a bit magical like he did with that goal against Bournemouth and even the goal against Reading. And now it's like, oh, I'm happy, I'm calm. Whereas, I don't know, I think when Osho or Pelly get the ball at the moment, I'm a bit like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
No, that's true, mate. Like I say, assurance in midfield, he is. Because the thing is, it doesn't try anything silly as well. He gets the ball, he plays it simple if he has to. And, like sometimes there are players that are better on the ball or, distributing the ball than he is. And he will give it to those players. He won't try something that he's not comfortable with, which is quite refreshing to see. Because a lot of players these days, they think they can do sort of like the attacking side of the game, they can do the defensive side, they can do different, but they can't. But Campbell knows what he can do, and he does the job very well.
True.
And he takes no risks. He presses, and he gets that ball. As soon as he wins that ball, which let's face it, I'd say more than 50% of the time he does. He's not trying nothing stupid. He's not trying to beat 2 or 3 men. He's trying to pass that ball sideways or get the ball off. And like you say, he can travel with the ball as well. And when he gets in space, he's a different animal as well. But look, trying to get that space in the Championship is like trying to sort of like, get a substance out of bread that doesn't exist. But you know what I mean?
I just feel I think we've got a different class of players now than when we first came to the league. I think, we've got a lot stronger squad and he's an essential part of it. So yeah, it's good to see him back. And Fred too. Yeah, great. I genuinely enjoyed the game. I wish it was 2-0, Jacob, but I enjoyed the game.
Should have won it though.
Well, we did have 2 big chances in that first half, and they're probably the best chances of the game, weren't they? The first one was it
Naismith, wasn't it?
The Naismith one, yeah. Do you know what, right? I find it hard to remember because for those who weren't at the stadium, obviously I had COVID, I couldn't go, had to watch it on iFollow. For those who watched it on iFollow on the weekend will notice that the cameraman or the camera operator, would not zoom in on the end Luton were attacking or defending. So whenever we were, honestly, you couldn't see anything.
Oh dear.
So this chance, I could, because it's so zoomed out, you could see it all unfolding. So I saw Naismith bombing in and he had a little tap in and he's put it wide, isn't he, I think?
Yeah, he's put it wide. And
it's a great opportunity to score.
It was one of those where he connects right, it's straight, it's going in. I mean, it for me, was a glorious chance and it should have been 1-0. For definite should have been 1-0.
Yeah,
good movement. And as we said before, right place, right time. He's got himself into that position to score and all he's missing is he didn't kick it right, I don't think. He just didn't connect right. And it was agonising just to see because I was when you looked up from where we're sitting or standing, we're directly opposite where he was and I'm saying he hits that, it's a goal. I'm already celebrating it. And
did he go with his left or right foot?
His right foot. I was about to say, if it was on his stronger foot, if it was on his left, he would 100% put that in. But look, like I say, it should have been 1-0 at the time.
And it would have been deserved as well. It wasn't a case of it wasn't a case that we were on the back foot there.
Well, no,
it would have been totally deserved.
There's a time Campbell got in as well within sort of like 15 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes, whatever time it was, it doesn't matter. But there's a time we were getting in behind. I mean, let's face it, right? Considering Blackburn are supposed to be like in the top 2, well, they are in the top 2. Don't know if they still are, but they were. We made them look sort of like, well, look, if not on par with us, if not below than us.
Their own fans would say they put up a depleted squad, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And then, to the same extent, we had some of our players out, right?
The same, exactly that.
So
they need to stop fucking crying. That's what they need to do.
We did really well.
Teams always cry. Oh, we're playing Luton. Oh, look at us. We've got 3 or 4 players missing. Yeah, but guess what? So are we. Yeah,
and the Naismith, to be fair, any other day of the week he'd put that in. Mm-hmm. It's just unfortunate it didn't go in. If that goes in at 1-0, I think we motor on and we get 2 or 3.
And the second chance fell to Cameron Jerome, and I love this chance though. The way we've made this opportunity, and Onyedinma's kind of made it out of nothing to get that pace to burst through the defender and pull it back. And it looks like it's going to be a tap-in from Jerome from miles away on the TV camera for me. And I don't know if he's not got the cleanest connection on it, but it's trickled against the post and then it's unlucky just to bounce
I couldn't believe
away.
it on the day. Honestly, I genuinely couldn't believe it. Right, look, you know how bad my eyes can be sometimes. But look, I was at the other end, obviously, behind the Kenilworth, and straight away I went, how the fuck's he missed that?
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Well,
You kind of see it back. There was a player in front of him. He tried to beat the defender's legs and whatever else, and tuck in the corner. But look,
any other day of the week when that hits the post, it'll come back out to somebody. It didn't,
overall, it was. I watched it back on the highlight show in the evening. It weren't great to watch, but look, like you say, you take positives from it. At least we're making the chances, and at least we're making the opportunity to get in those areas, especially as Cameron Jerome. I mean, let's face it, I think he's been brilliant as well in the last sort of 3
especially
or 4 weeks.
without Elijah having to put in the shift against Sheffield United and then the shift again against Blackburn. I think, like we said, it's unlucky. He probably should have scored it. Looking back, he'll go, I probably should have scored it, but any other day that hits the post and goes in, or hits the post and falls to him again. Yeah. And this is what we were saying last week against Sheffield United, is that sliced shot from their right winger or right back, whatever, just landed at Brewster's feet. Yeah. And that's just and Nathan Jones at the time, this league is margins. This league is margins.
Yeah, that was the main thing in his interview, wasn't it? It was margins. Very fine margins. We had 2 very, very close chances that, should have been tucked away, but look, that is the difference.
Can you believe that we're moaning about? We're not really moaning, but we're discussing not beating the team that's second in the league. I think we gave them a really good game. We could have won, but the most important thing is that over the last month we haven't lost that many, have we? We've got more points than we could have expected, and to get 4 in 2 games, that ain't bad.
And overall, any Luton fan that says they're not happy with what we're doing at the moment, they would be lying or deeply disturbed, because clearly we are all happy as a fan base. We are very happy with what we're doing.
We're happy where the club is going at the moment, and I think Saturday's first half, I think we were really good actually.
And just a word on Henry Lansbury, because I thought he was really good on the weekend. I would have given him man of the match.
Mate, in all fairness, 100%. He deserves a round of applause. The guy's phenomenal. Shithouse, mate. Love it. Love the bloke.
He's just such a seasoned pro, isn't he? He's flying into tackles. His weight of pass is beautiful. I just always feel, like I said about Campbell, when it's Campbell and Lansbury in the middle, when he gets the ball, I'm thinking he's going to try and do a diagonal, and it's going to be inch perfect. And the reaction, I think Luton put up a clip on Twitter of Lansbury winning that corner, and he celebrates it. He's just brilliant at the moment.
Mate, I'll be honest, like you say, the things with Lansbury, we know I think everyone knows what he produces and what he can do. He's a hothead. He gets a lot of bookings. I mean, he's always solid for a bet if you want a little bet on the weekend, but for a yellow card. But he, like you say, experienced, seasoned pro. And I tell you what, he was playing mind games with those Blackburn players at the weekend.
Yeah, wasn't he?
What was he, mate? He was doing some real disgraceful things, let's face it, but glorious things at the same time. Amazing. But that's what we like. He's kind of like a Danny, like Danny Hilton used to do a few years back.
Yeah.
But it's almost like Lansbury's got it in sort of like, in abundance, isn't he?
Yeah, I think also there's a noticeable difference in quality between where we were and where we are now. Even like a season ago, I think we've improved loads, and it's a joy to go there at the minute. It's a joy to go there, and to have that sort of player come on, fantastic.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's class, mate. And was it him at the end as well? Grabbed the keeper's nuts. Was it him?
Apparently so. Yeah. I think you see it in the replay. I think it's by the keeper's reaction, something's happened there, innit?
I couldn't work out if it was him or Cornick, but yeah.
He was angry. The game to finish 0-0 then. I don't think Blackburn created anything really. They had the lowest expected goals of the weekend in the Championship. So I think we as a defence did pretty good.
Well, their fans must have thought they'd won something with all those flares going off at the end.
Their fans will say, well, we're missing our top scorer.
I don't care if they're missing this. I don't understand. Do you know what?
Brereton.
Can somebody, before we go on, can somebody explain to me how Blackburn fans could get into the stadium with a flare, given the fact that when I was trying to get in the Maple Road entrance earlier, there was this one guy pulled out of the bloody queue, and I've never seen a pat down like it. Unreal. I mean, crazy. And they let them flares off in there. Anyway, they didn't
win.
win.
It's always the case, don't it? Always the case.
Yeah.
Well, it finished 0-0. It's a good point for Luton. It gives us 4 points from the last 2 home games, which is what we said we'd take. And we've obviously got another 2 big fixtures coming up. One in the league, Swansea tonight, as you're probably listening to this. Cambridge at the weekend in the Cup, which will be a good one. We'll discuss them later. It is transfer deadline day today. And as of recording this, we've got just under an hour, I believe. I think it shuts at 11, doesn't it, until it closes. So we've already done a little bit of business today. 2 outgoings so far in Glenn Rea and Simon Sluga, and incoming Jed Steer from Aston Villa on loan. I guess we start with Sluga. Producer Jacob texted me earlier and was like, I wanted to focus on Lansbury because we thought he did really well, but we were like, nah, let's do Sluga because if he's rumoured to be going, I think it's only right that we look back at him. And he's asked 2 questions on social media today. Are you sad to see him go? And have we had our money's worth out of him? And we had so many more responses than ever. I think we had like over 60 responses. So Jacob's put like the best 6 down here. I guess we'll start with you 2 first. Are you sad to see Sluga go?
Do you know what? I don't know if I'm sad. I don't think sad is the right answer for me. I mean, I think when he came in, I was excited. He had a couple of times where you just thought, what have we bought? And then he's had some games where you're thinking, yeah, he was worth the money, world class. So I don't dislike him. I don't think he's been here long enough for me to be sad about him going. That's how I feel about him. But he was brilliant for when he was on form. He was brilliant, and I love that.
Yeah, it's almost like a big respect to Simon Sluga, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
no disrespect.
No disrespect at all.
None of us will say that.
But some games you wonder what Sluga you were going to get occasionally.
I like this mentality though.
Yeah, but were you going to get the Sluga that done the massive mistake against Derby, or were you going to get the one that made the brilliant saves that kept us in the league or kept us in the game, especially when we was on that mini tournament that Nick Owen referred to when we were speaking on the podcast about those final 8 games of the season that kept us up. Which ones you get? Well, you can't doubt his ability. You can't doubt that, and he was our biggest signing ever. That's amazing.
Most expensive one, wasn't he?
It'd be interesting to know. I know it's non-disclosed, but it'd be interesting to know whether we made our money back.
Nah, no way.
Don't think
I can't see it. I cannot
you
see that.
Well, you can't see it because they didn't tell you.
It could be one of them signings that you look back at and you just say, look, he played his part in the journey we're currently on.
Yeah.
He had his moments and his games where he made a couple of howlers, but like you said again, he's made so many world-class saves for us. And most notably the one away at Wigan, which I guess without that point we'd
probably the best save
I've
seen live as well.
Excuse me.
Thing is, nice that you got the cough.
Jesus Christ, get your
I'm
mask
recovering
on.
from COVID, sorry.
Yeah, go test again.
Don't say that.
Either way, back to it. The Wigan save.
No, what I was going to say about him was that he could pull that kind of save out of nowhere, and you're saying world class save, but kept us in the right place there, and we all pushed on, don't we? So you can't moan at him. He's only at the club 2 seasons,
2.5 in it. So we signed him in the promotion to the Championship.
So that's why I say I can't be sad that he's gone, because he hasn't been here long enough to really, really get attached to. However, when he's on form, I've loved him.
Have we had our money's worth out of them then? It's hard to say, isn't it? Because for me nowadays,
I don't really like that question. I'm not going to lie to you. Money's well. I'm not too sure if I sort of follow that because. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
1.2 million kept us in the Championship with the help of others, but without him between the sticks.
I'm sorry, £1.2 million is nothing. I think we've got money's worth out of him.
1.35, wasn't it?
You look at some clubs, like Bournemouth have just spent 1.5 tonight on Dembele from Peterborough. 1.1 million is nothing, and I think we've got the money's worth out of him easily.
But obviously, we
Where have we come
will
from?
wish him all the best, and nothing against him. We wish him all the best, and obviously on his journey to obviously Ludogorets now, pre-playing.
Maybe in the Champions League.
Well, this is it, potentially European football. So
can I just say that what you've just said there, 1.35 million or 1.2 million is nothing, just sums up where we've come from as a club, because previously we'd have been nowhere near that. And a lot of people laugh at 1.3 million thinking it's not a lot. Whereas, that's a big step up for us, and hopefully, as we push on and the club's organised more, we get more. Yeah, absolutely get more.
Well, I could see us potentially, again, maybe in the summer breaking our transfer.
Yeah. Let's hope, as long as it's right and it works out for us. But obviously with the Sluga debate and whatever else, and, whatever happens, that there's no one within the football club or the fan base that wishes him, anything bad.
Success, yeah.
Yeah, we all wish him well. We liked him. He, as bad as some of the things he did, or as great as some of the games he was at his best, he always give 100%, and we knew that.
I loved,
because you could tell by his personality as well, and he was a winner. He wanted to win.
Say celebration after a save, didn't he?
Like a punch in the air.
Why not? Why not? Strikers score when they score. They celebrate. Why shouldn't a goalkeeper celebrate? I think you've knocked the nail on the head, really, Luke. Anybody who plays for the club is there a short space of time normally. The fans are there all of the time, and a player is only part of our club's journey, and he's been part of it, and we'll look back and go, bloody hell, he was good for that game on this game. So I think you've knocked that right on the head.
And do you know what? I'm going to throw this one out as well. One of the best shot stoppers I've ever seen. I'm not saying one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen, but one of the best shot stoppers I've ever seen. He was phenomenal. The guy's reaction for a point-blank save.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? One day he'd pull one of them off, and then he'd pull off a Derby or a Middlesbrough.
He was an exciting player, wasn't he? Let's face it. He was an up and down. He's an exciting player, but we wish him the best.
This is what you guys said about Simon Sluga. Are you sad to see him go, and have we had our money's worth out of him? Ollie says, yes, his performances during the COVID restart made him worth the money. Solid showing last season too. He should move on with our best wishes. He moves closer to his family with a chance to play Champions League football. Also, should be a decent fee for us. Good luck, Sluga. It's like you said, Pataro, just moving on. Well wishes. Get on with it. Happy days, really. Ian says, no and no. He started with a number of awful errors, but improved the longer he's been with us. Graham Jones' most eye-catching signing when he became our most expensive player.
Wow.
It's hard to say.
Why we all go silent there? I don't know.
Spotlight was on him, I suppose, wasn't it?
I think no and no. I agree with no and no. Mate, I agree with the first no.
The thing is, it's hard to say have we had our money's worth out of him, because we haven't gone down. So it's kind of like with what were we expecting him to?
Hey,
we expecting Sluga to single-handedly get us into the playoffs or something like?
All right, so you could look at that a different way, couldn't you? So Sluga cost us how much? You say 1.35 or whatever it was, 1 point something million. There has obviously been a fee for him going, so then it becomes maybe half of that fee. And then, so look at him in a different way. Mm-hmm. Did we get a bargain? Because we've had him a couple of seasons, he's done his job, he's gone. And we've got some money back on him. So, look at it that way.
And it's also, like I said a minute ago, if you're spending £1 million on a keeper, £1 million is nothing. Like you look at, I know I'm not going to, I'm just about to compare this to.
But for us, it is a lot of money.
But like you look at how expensive Kepa was for Chelsea, and you would say like their value for money, definitely not. But like
that's because of the name. Though. Let's face it, that's the name and that's the brand that comes with it.
But that's what But the thing is, you look at how expensive keepers can be and stuff. Do they make that much of a difference to your side that's going to be enough to go, all right, yeah, we really got our money's worth there?
I think some keepers in the past have, yeah, but I'm not talking Luton, but for any club that's, for a Premier League club, for instance, if they get a decent keeper and he saves 3 or 4 and they get their 169 million for the next year they're in the Premier League, of course they're worth the money.
For me as well, with a goalkeeper, it's personality more than anything. I think if you're confident and you like to say command and you come out and you collect the ball and you shore up your defence. You don't have to be the best sort of athletic player. You don't have to be a gymnast when it comes to goalkeepers. I mean, a lot of goalkeepers these days, they're worth £80 million or £75 million like Kepa and that. And they want to start fanning about, fucking tipping the ball over the bar, sort of like doing backflips and whatever else. I don't want to see that from a goalkeeper. I want to see my goalkeeper come out, claim the ball, and
and give your defender and give your back 4 or your back 3 or centre backs
just safe hands.
Yeah.
Look at James Shea, for example. Like I say, for example, James Shea is phenomenal, by the way. underrated. He goes under the radar a little bit. This guy has safe hands, and that's what you want, is safe hands. You want the player to come
and you just want the
area.
rest of your players to believe in your goalkeeper too. So sometimes I think that was slack.
Well, David said he's sad to see him go, but Shea's form really softens the blow, to be honest. I think he's been a great keeper for us, and he came up with some big saves. Yes, I feel like in football, this is to have we had our money's worth, the 1.4 million or whatever was good value, but not sure we saw the best of him, which is probably true as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Sluga, he knows, he looks back at his time and goes, probably wasn't the best he would have hoped for, but
did he even really settle in the UK? That's
Probably
the other question. Probably that's why he's gone.
Nathan says, I'll be sad to see him go, but not devastated. He helped us stay in this division, so the value overall was good. Shea's proven he can be number one, so no huge loss. Chapper says, I think he's had an okay career with us, but I have a feeling he's been great for Shea and Eisted to learn from. I blame Graham Jones, and in my opinion, he managed him terribly.
Oh. But he's right, though, because we've just said this. I mean, Shea has definitely sort of made a big claim for that number one jersey. And I think, you can see the difference in him.
Well, would you expect Jed Steer then, who's our new signing and goalkeeper from Aston Villa, to maybe start against Cambridge at the weekend if Shea's number one at the moment?
It depends how much Nathan wants to win the game. Do you chuck in?
Well, this is it, yeah. He's an experienced goalkeeper as well, Jed Steer, let's face it.
He's played in the Premier League this season.
Has he?
I think so.
Fucking hell, fair play.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is that if he's going to rest anyone and he's going to rest Shea, then bung him in, but not just for the sake of it straight away. I'd have thought, he would have had a week, less than a week playing. Will he be on the bench against Swansea?
Yeah, it seems
so you don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know too much about Jed Steer even. Let's face it. I mean,
I saw the Sky Bet Championship tweets a video of some of his saves today, and they're cracking saves.
He looks like quite a short goalkeeper as well.
Does he?
Quite small.
Did he not make a save in the playoffs?
Yeah, he got them to the playoff final, saved.
Well, there you go.
So shootouts, did the little stare at Holgate as he took the pen for them.
Again, we've got to trust we've said this before. You've got to trust the recruitment team. They know what they're at. They know what they're looking for, and they know why they brought him in. So, he's going to be a part of it. If he's on a loan, he doesn't come on loan and not play, does he? He's going to play some games. And I think that'd be, to be fair, given Shea's recent form, I think it's really harsh if he's dropped. Really harsh.
Yeah, I agree.
Just having a quick look to see if there's been any more updates on Luton's transfer activity. Doesn't look like there is. The only thing at the moment is Elliot Anderson apparently has gone or going to Bristol Rovers. We're obviously heavily linked with this guy, and Nathan Jones really liked him. And we spoke about this off air, maybe it just shows that maybe he's not quite ready for regular games in the Championship yet.
Clearly, he's probably been told, like we said earlier, he's probably been told he's not going to get what he wants in the Championship. Let's face it, we're a strong Luton side, and we are. Let's not play that down. We're a very strong team. We've got players in that position that can play. We have no idea about this guy. Well, we've seen a few bits about him, but realistically, we have no idea how good this guy really is until he proves himself. And a young boy, was he 19, is he? 19, 20, something like that?
Yeah, he's young.
I mean, look, he's got his whole career ahead of him. I mean, if he does well at Bristol Rovers or wherever he goes to, if it is the case, then, so be it. But look at Dewsbury Hill, for example. Start at League One, work his way up. You never know. Could be a player for next season.
It could be one. It could be one that we revisit, and I think we've seen tweets online with Newcastle's position at the moment with their owners. If they stay up, that limits his game time even more. And maybe we could go out and go, you know what? We got 2.5 million to spend. Let's do it. Stoke City have just signed Josh Madger. Good signing.
Yeah, if you say.
We have to talk about
Netflix. Watch Sunderland. That documentary.
We are kind of running out of time. We've only got like 10 minutes left, but we have to touch on Glenn Rea leaving on loan to the end of the season to Wigan, and maybe this is one that if he does well, it could be moved into a permanent. I'm surprised Elliot Lee's not gone out permanently yet, by the way. But Rea to Wigan, he started midweek against Bristol City. I thought he was okay. Didn't really put a foot wrong, but. Is he another one? Then we just go, look, he's had an unbelievable journey with us. Nathan Jones loves him. He was one of his first signings. He's been through it all with us. And we just go, you know what? Fair play, Glenn Rea. And thank you.
Mate, massive thanks to Glenn Rea as well. Because I'll be honest, you know how I feel about this one. I was pretty upset. Not upset, but I like Glenn Rea. It's no hidden secret. I like Glenn Rea, and you know what? I think he's been very good for our club. As a person, let's face it, as a human being, he's quality.
You saw him at Burton away, didn't you?
Yeah, in the pub and that.
You grew your hair after him.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, of course.
But
I think it's the other way around, mate. Yeah.
There are not many players. There are not many players these days that stay with the same club for a long time. I mean, obviously, the legend Pelly has done well, but they are just in. They're in for a short time. They're helping us on our way, and then they go and you say thank you. There's not many players that have left that I've gone, you know, I hate him now. Not a couple, but not many. But you know, he's done well for us. He's done well for us. He's done well for us. But you know, he'll probably do well at Wigan.
And Glenn,
he will do well at Wigan. 100%. He will.
He's one you look back on as well. And at a time under Graham Jones, when he was injured for so long, and we were crying out for like that defensive midfielder, and he come back and he started against Forest. And although we lost 3-1 that day, I remember having a really cracking game, and we all thought, you know, this is the central defensive mid that we've been needing this season. And that season, obviously, we did stay up. And you think, it all helps, doesn't it? And it's just like, it was such a good journey.
I think for Glenn Rea, I think in the last sort of, year or so, I think game time has been massive for him. If he hasn't got the game time, he's not going to perform at his best. I think he needs a lot of, he needs to be playing week in, week out. And unfortunately, we couldn't give that to him. But
he's at that age now where he's looking at, probably he's at the prime of his career, and he needs to be playing them games, otherwise.
But I still feel like, I genuinely feel like he didn't get enough respect for what he did.
And he's
Glenn Rea deserves massive. Honestly, I'm going to tell everyone, he deserves massive respect here, Glenn Rea. This guy is phenomenal, right? And he's put a shift in, right? He might have been, he might have, made a few mistakes or not been the best, athletic wise, or like agility. This and that. People want fast players. They want people that can turn people and whatever else. But this guy,
he's gone to a club.
He's old school, man. He'll love it as well.
Right. I think I've heard him describe Wigan as a massive club. Well, they're not that. But, I mean, they've won the FA Cup. Well done to them for that. But they are second in their division. They've got games in hand. They've got 4 games in hand of Sunderland, and they're above them. So there's a chance that if he performs well, he comes back to our level. If he stays with them. Or
And I think that is level, to be honest. I think Championship is his level. I'm not saying he's the best player in the Championship, but I think he deserves that shot at the Championship again. Yeah. Because he is a good player, and I think he deserves. And any Luton fan that don't give this guy respect, then fuck it, I have no idea. But
I think a lot of Luton fans will, though, and they'll all look back and go, you know what, fair play. I've just had confirmation that Elliot Anderson has joined Bristol Rovers on loan until the end of the season, which gives us 40 minutes from now. It'd be cool to go on for another 40 minutes and see if we do actually get anyone in. Another name that was mentioned was Luke Freeman from Sheffield United. You really like this guy, Bataro.
Yeah, mate, I can't see it personally. If we were to sign this guy, then I think Nathan Jones, I don't know what he's been doing. He must have been doing some dodgy business behind the scenes, because this guy's phenomenal. But look, I don't think it's a realistic target. And if it is, then fuck me, please be it, because unreal. This guy was a QPR player, I think last season, year before. Single-handedly, probably was one of their best players.
Yeah.
And pretty much run the team. And got his move to Sheffield United and whatever else.
It's not really worked out for him there, is it?
No, but look, hasn't played a lot of football recently, but look, if we was to get this guy, big signing.
Trust. I've said this already tonight. Trust the team. They know what they're doing. The people out there and their targets, they've been going for them. They've been chasing these guys, not just for today, have they? They knew the window was coming. They'd have been flirting with them all this time. If someone's come in, they'll pull them out of the bag before that. I just hope it's a real thing that I've seen, obviously, on Twitter and that. But I don't really believe it. The Freeman thing, I don't really believe it. But what's the other one we're seeing as well? Is it Harvey White from Tottenham?
Yeah, that's what producer Taker's put down here.
That looks more realistic.
It'll be interesting just to see though when it obviously, you listening to this now, you'll know exactly what's happened between us recording this and the end of the deadline. But I guess from right now, if you look at it, are we happy with this transfer window? I guess you could probably say we haven't maybe improved the squad that much, but Jones has said he hasn't felt a need to. But maybe it could be important for us that if we don't get any extra in now, that we've moved on Ray, who was on wages, Sluga, who was on wages and got some money, that could set us up nicely for the summertime to
That's
maybe
a good-
go and break our record.
And we've still got Elliot Fault, remember, as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. And normally, I hate transfer windows. I don't like them.
Showing your age.
Well, no, it's not about my age. It's a
Especially
case
in
of,
January, Dave, as well, isn't it?
well, just because you're sitting there, and just for argument's sake, you've got Adebayo who's on fire at the moment, and someone comes, I'll have him now, and your squad is devastated because he goes. So that's why I normally sit there and worry about who's leaving. It's nice to talk about who's coming in rather than your bigger player's going to leave. We know that eventually one of them will go, but it's nice to not be so worried about stuff.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like at the moment anything's going on. It's exciting, isn't it? Because it's potentially an opportunity to bring one more in.
Should we sit for another half an hour to record and just sit there and people will be bored to go, oh, nothing's happening, but look.
Hey, you could always edit in. You could always edit in your reactions. You can take
It's going
to take you 40 minutes to edit this.
People listening will know what's happened by the time this is out there.
We just signed Fat Ronaldo. Fucking hell.
Right, I've got an update though.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I go for it? Yeah. Joe, do you remember, was it last week before, we gave Bataro a painting by Jason Swift of Mick Harford, and Mick signed it. I read today on Twitter that he's managed, Jason, bloody hell, this is amazing. He's raised £16,680 for Prostate Cancer UK. That is an amazing effort, and everybody who bought a painting off of Jason, well done to you. But Jason, bloody hell, you must have been really, really busy. Good job. Well done.
Unreal effort. Everyone's tweeting Luton Town at the moment saying, do we stay up or do we go to bed?
Well,
come on, mate. It's only 35 minutes. Get a grip.
You should do a transfer special live.
That would have been great, wouldn't it? Anyway, look, we're boring everyone now because everyone knows what's happened and we're all sat here not knowing what's happened at all.
That's true.
Instagram questions today. We'll only touch on a couple because a lot of them we've already had. John said opinions on the Sluga going, we've done. Alex, reactions to the transfers, we've done. Dan says, how many points are we taking from the next 3 league games? Swansea away, Barnsley at home, Birmingham away.
Do you know, if we're on our game, we're taking 9 from that. Thank you.
I think you've got to be happy with 6 though, haven't you?
I didn't say I wouldn't be happy with 6, but I said if we're on our game, we can take 9 from that.
7, Bataro?
7 would be great.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of a 7. I'm thinking a draw tomorrow night.
Really?
Do you know what I'm going to say? We're going to beat Birmingham away if we get a draw against Barnsley.
Okay.
Everyone's going, yeah, Barnsley are shit, but it don't matter.
No, I think, realistically, you want at least 4.
2 home games in there.
At least 4, but you want to win 6 points.
2 away games in there, actually.
2 away games, yeah. So you'd be happy with 6.
Harry says, are you lot going Cambridge away?
I am. Had my ticket. Batara, you coming? Babysitting? Yeah, okay. It's all quiet. I will be at Cambridge Way. If you see me, say hello. It'd be nice to say hello to you guys.
I am going to be flying out to Portugal on Wednesday for 10 days, so...
Yeah, lucky you.
Unfortunately, I do miss the next few games.
And the next podcast recording as well, so you're not on that.
I'm going to get some sun on my little white milky
Hopefully,
skin.
mate. I'm going to go get some sun and have a nice little time
fucking
away.
Need it, mate.
Can't wait.
Jesus.
Well, that is all we've got time for today. One last check at social media. It doesn't look like anything's happening right now. But hopefully we've got to 11 o'clock and maybe get someone else in. So,
well,
yeah. Swansea away is going to be another tough game for us.
Swansea away. To be fair, if we're on our game, we can beat Swansea. That's how I feel about that one. So I hope that, we give a great performance. You're not going to be on the podcast next week. So that'll be me and Bataro.
Are you off tomorrow, boys? You off tomorrow? Work-wise?
No.
Why would
you
we
working?
Off? Do you want to go? Oh, man, you should have said that earlier.
Not a chance we would have gone. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. Get us on the socials, Owen the Town, YouTube as well. If you haven't watched us yet, go search Owen the Town on YouTube. You can watch us 3 sat in our studio / kitchen doing the podcast. Let us know what you think of the new signings, if we've made any before the deadline. And we shall see you next week. Have a good one.